Have you ever wondered what it feels like to lose something precious, something invaluable that carries the weight of history and culture? Imagine the pain and frustration of nations whose priceless artifacts were taken away during the colonial era. Today, we're counting down the 10 most expensive and significant treasures stolen by the British. Join us as we delve into the stories behind these incredible items, their cultural significance, and the ongoing efforts to reclaim them. Number 10. The Sacred Idol of Sundar Gurumal Temple. The Sundar Gurumal Temple in India's southeastern state has been without its sacred idol since 1957. The statue, a crucial part of Hindu rituals, was stolen and now resides in Oxford's Ashmolean Museum. The temple's priest, Arava Mudin, expresses the community's despair, stating that the temple has lost its glory without the idol. For worshippers, the absence of their god is a profound loss, symbolizing the broader issue of colonial plundering. Volunteer groups like Vijay Kumar's are dedicated to recovering such artifacts, having successfully returned over 600 items, driven solely by the mission to restore these cultural treasures to their rightful homes. Number 9. The Kohinoor Diamond. The Kohinoor Diamond, once a prized jewel of Indian royalty, is now set in the British Crown Jewels. Taken under coercion from the 10-year-old Maharaja of Punjab, this diamond is a stark reminder of colonial exploitation. Its presence in the Tower of London symbolizes the humiliation and loss experienced during the Raj. Despite diplomatic complexities and competing claims from India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, calls for its return persist. Historian Anita Anand highlights its role as a painful colonial relic. Recent royal decisions reflect awareness of its controversial history, yet many argue these gestures fall short of addressing the deeper injustices associated with its acquisition. Number 8. The Elgin Marbles. The Elgin Marbles, classical Greek sculptures taken from the Parthenon by Lord Elgin in the early 19th century, reside in the British Museum. Greece contends they were acquired under dubious circumstances during Ottoman rule, calling for their return. These marbles are integral to Greek heritage, and their absence from their original context is seen as a cultural loss. The British Museum argues their display in London serves a global audience. However, the demand for their return is strong, emphasizing modern Greece's capability to preserve them and challenging the ethics of colonial-era acquisitions. The Elgin marbles symbolize broader issues of cultural heritage and restitution. Number 7. The Benin Bronzes. The Benin Bronzes, masterpieces of African art from the Kingdom of Benin, modern-day Nigeria, were looted by British forces in 1897. These artifacts, now spread across global museums, are renowned for their craftsmanship and historical value. Nigeria has long sought their return, and some institutions have begun to comply. The British Museum, holding a significant collection, faces mounting pressure to repatriate them. The ongoing negotiations highlight the complexities of cultural restitution. The Benin bronzes represent not just artistic achievement, but also a painful history of colonial violence. Their return would be a significant step in acknowledging and rectifying past injustices. Number 6. Tipu Sultan's Sword. Tipu Sultan's sword, taken by the British after his death in 1799, symbolizes his fierce resistance against colonial rule. Known as the Tiger of Mysore, Tipu Sultan's legacy is celebrated in India. His sword, richly decorated and historically significant, resides in a British museum. Its return would restore a vital symbol of Indian resistance and bravery. The calls for repatriation highlight the broader issue of colonial war trophies and their lasting impact on cultural heritage. The sword is more than a weapon. It represents the spirit of a leader who fought against British oppression, embodying a crucial chapter in India's history. Number 5. The Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone, key to deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphics, was discovered by French soldiers in 1799 and seized by the British. It has been in the British Museum since 1802. Egypt argues it is a crucial part of their heritage and seeks its return. The British Museum maintains that its presence in London has advanced Egyptology studies. The debate over the Rosetta Stone exemplifies tensions surrounding artifact repatriation. While its historical role in deciphering ancient languages is undeniable, returning the stone would be a significant act of restitution for Egypt, restoring a vital piece of their cultural heritage and acknowledging historical grievances. Number 4. The Magdala Treasures. In 1868, British forces looted a vast array of treasures from Emperor Tewodros II's fortress at Magdala, Ethiopia. Among these priceless artifacts were crowns, manuscripts, and religious items of immense historical and cultural significance to Ethiopia. The Ethiopian government has persistently advocated for their return, seeking restitution for these symbols of national heritage and resistance against colonial exploitation. While some items have been returned on long-term loans, Ethiopia continues to press for full repatriation. The Magdala treasures stand as poignant reminders of Ethiopia's sovereignty and identity, reflecting the ongoing global discourse on the ethical complexities of colonial acquisitions and the imperative of preserving and restoring cultural heritage worldwide. Number 3. The Amravati Stupa Sculptures. The Amravati Stupa in India was once adorned with intricate sculptures depicting scenes from Buddha's life. In the 19th century, British archaeologists took many of these sculptures, which are now housed in the British Museum. These artifacts are crucial to India's Buddhist heritage, offering valuable insights into ancient art and culture. The Indian government seeks their return, arguing that they belong in their original context at the Amravati Stupa. The British Museum's retention of these sculptures underscores the broader debate over colonial acquisitions and the ethics of artifact repatriation. Returning the Amravati sculptures would restore a significant piece of India's cultural and religious history. Number 2. The Great Star of Africa, Cullinan Diamond. The Great Star of Africa, or Cullinan Diamond, one of the largest diamonds ever found, was mined in South Africa in 1905 and gifted to King Edward VII. It is now part of the British sovereign's scepter. South Africa has a complex relationship with this diamond, seeing it as a symbol of colonial exploitation. There are calls for its return to address historical injustices. While legally acquired, its presence in the British crown jewels is a reminder of the colonial era's impact on South Africa's natural resources. The Cullinan diamond symbolizes the country's rich heritage and the ongoing struggle for restitution. Number 1. The Sultanganj Buddha. The Sultanganj Buddha, a massive bronze statue from the 7th century, was discovered by British railway engineers in the 19th century and transported to the UK. It now resides in the Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery. This statue is a significant Buddhist artifact representing a pinnacle of ancient Indian art. The Indian government and various cultural organizations have called for its return, emphasizing its spiritual and cultural importance. Returning the Sultanganj Buddha would restore a vital piece of India's religious and artistic heritage, reflecting a growing recognition of the need for cultural restitution and addressing the legacies of colonialism. Its repatriation would honor India's rich history. These stolen treasures represent not just immense financial value, but deep cultural and historical significance. Their loss has left indelible marks on the nations from which they were taken. As efforts to reclaim these artifacts continue, it's about restoring heritage and identity. What do you think about these stolen artifacts? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. Until next time, keep exploring the stories that shape our world.